So I came down to my workbench a couple days ago and I found this on my table. So this package is from a domestic seller, Dalbani. Isn't that interesting? Oh, okay. These are some Borns 500 ohm potentiometers. And the only ones I could find, 500 ohm, were side adjust. But that'll be okay. And these trimmers cost $1.50 a piece. They were 10 for $15. And they were sold by I have not yet looked up this tracking number. Okay, this will be the last iteration of these fellows. There are 3 wires in by 3 times 3 wires out. Here they've at least carried the mounting lug clear down to the base, so if we do tighten a screw up, it won't break the lug off. So that's an improvement. What I intend to do is keep this cord handy. I guess this should go to the red. I think the neutral then goes, or the white wire in the United States goes to the blue. Notice the wire goes well inside the plastic. Now, these blocks are designed to be probed with the meter, and this is plastic, but clear down in the bottom is a piece of metal so that I could read voltages. So now I have a nice power cord, and if I wanted to, for example, find out what the voltage of this transformer is, I could just hook a wire here and here. I do have then a ground, frame ground, carried forward from in the United States, the center, the grounding prong. So if I was powering something up I felt comfortable grounding the chassis of or the frame of, I could connect the wire to there. This package is ridiculously large. I measured it, in fact it's 18 by 13 inches. Came from Amazon. And that huge package, I mean ridiculously large, has this channel lock internal and external retaining ring pliers. We'll get this open. So this is a pretty substantial set of pliers. Comes with replaceable tips, and you can make it into an internal or external. See, now that this is acting in reverse to a normal set of pliers, and now it's acting as a standard set of pliers. I bought 45 years ago from SK. SK didn't have this little feature here, so I ended up buying two, one internal and one external, in which case then I got 2 bags of these. So these bits, and it's not a snap, it's an over the flap type of, I don't like that. Alright, comes with an Allen wrench and 2 spare screws, little Allen head set screws. Then it should be paired. There's a pair of very thin, small diameter that is. Here's a pair of bent. And here's a another set of end on. And so we have 2 right angle, I don't know if you can see them or not, but one, this is large and this is very, very tiny, engagement pins. And this is the same way. 2 very small, the black ones, 2 very large or medium. And then these are not, these are very large, and we have no right angle complement for these very large ones. It actually says made in USA, and there's no locking position for this handle. So the pliers are always going to be spread apart in your toolbox. I didn't print out the Amazon page for these, but they're about $25. It's a channel lock 927. I had looked at getting some Knipex. That's spelled with a K, Knipex, but they don't make interchangeable tips that I could find. They do make a very elaborate series of tools, but the equivalent of this would have been well over $150. That might be justifiable if you were doing these rings all day long. In fact, it would be a justifiable expense. But I do internal rings once a year, maybe. that is internal and external rings. So it's not worth the investment to me. This is a pain in the ass. Channel lock 927T, I guess that's this, and this is a 927. These are three original, that's the key word, original Highland power supplies. These are 0 to 30 volts, 0 to 1 amp, using a 317 regulator. And here's the circuit board. It's classic red, and it says Highland prominently on it. And by the way, this was from Banggood, and it cost $10, say. Original Highland supplies. There's the 0 to 30 volt 3 amp. And this is my favorite, the 0 to 28 volt 2 amp. What I like about this is it includes the metering. It's digitally controlled, but it's a brute force power supply. I recently more or less came to a halt on this supply, which was advertised as original Highland. This is not an original Highland. Original Highland has the 30 volt original Highland has its integrated circuits in a group rather than in a line. Now these two power supplies are not identical. This is an EQ Kits version of the Highland supply. These three are the originals. This one's an imposter. Although I think it's a perfectly good copy. Be aware that the wiring diagram is slightly different. So I'll be assembling these, at least one of these, in the near future.